Team 52's design firm was tasked by the client team with building a small, social distancing robot. According to the client team, the robot was supposed to be able to detect if a human was within 3 feet for more than 10 seconds so that it could maintain social distancing at all times. When the robot was done with its detecting sequence, it must produce some kind of signal telling the user whether or not the robot is appropriately socially distanced from anything around it. The body of the robot was to remain somewhat compact, as the purpose of the robot was to be able to easily move it around from place to place. The first question that was asked was whether or not the robot should have a humanoid appearance, to which the client team responded no. It only needs to detect if someone is not socially distanced. The next and final question that was asked was about what kind of signal should be sent out to the user. The client team said that as long as it is easily seen, it meets their requirements. Next, we're going to take a more in-depth look at the specifications of the socially distancing robot.
Here's a functional block diagram of the system of the social distancing robot. First, power must flow into all aspects of the system. Next, user input is put into the control system. From here, a signal is sent to the movement system, which causes the actuators or the motors to start moving. These motors then send data back to a control system, which tells if social distancing is being upheld or not. From there, this control system outputs data as well as a human perceptual signal to show whoever is looking whether social distancing is being followed or not.
As you can see, there are many specifications for the design of our product, or of our beautiful machine. First is obviously the customer needs that the bot must maintain social distance, it must display a signal after checking the social distance radius, and it must be compact. These can be further developed into technical needs, technical requirements, and eventually our target value, where for social distance we said that 3 feet plus or minus 6 inches was a good target value, especially when you double that becomes the 6 feet social distance that people are always talking about. It also must display a signal after checking the radius. So after we check for social distancing, there has to be some way of showing this in case there is not social distancing, the whole point of our robot. And so the success rate of this detection should be around 95%, and the effectiveness of the signal should be at this as well, because it should be pretty effective. It also should be very compact. Although this robot does take up an area of around 3 feet, it is pretty small and can be placed in most locations in order to check for social distancing.
So for our most beautiful machine, we had 2 alternative designs, which was the helicopter blade design, which was very similar to our final design. However, instead of one side having a long piece, it would be 2 sides. So instead of having to go a full 360, it would have to just go 180 to make to cover up the whole distance. However, we thought that this was too simple to code, and it would be no effort to make, so we kind of make it harder for ourselves, and it looked a lot nicer too. So for our second design, ultrasonic sensor design, we would use 4 ultrasonic sensors on each side, looking at each individual place, and it would rotate 180 so it covers the whole distance, and it would detect everything in the distance. But we scrapped this idea because our ultrasonic sensors were very inaccurate or not very consistent, and it was too difficult to get the rotating system working before the deadline. So for our evidence of success, our 3 conditions were that you had to make sure it was social distant, some sign that someone breached the social distance, and it was compact. And as you can see from the first picture, we had, even though this is lower on scale, we had a 1 foot-inch detector. And in the second picture, you can see that there's a flag inputted right here. And as you'll see in the video later, the flag will go up when something is detected. and the compact design, which is 6 by 5 by 8 inches. And now to the video. So this is Team 52's most beautiful machine, as you can see right here. It is a social distancing robot, and it will indicate whether someone is around its, as you see, white crane's radius. So start the program now. So as you can see, it's going to move in a whole 360 degrees, and it's decently fast enough so that nothing can get through its range. So I'll let it go like once around, and I'll put something in there. So I'll put my water bottle here, as you can see right here. So hit the water bottle, and it must stop. So the next function will go in a few moments. As you can see, the red flag goes up and indicates that it hit something. So basically, social distancing robot.